You know, America loves a good old bedtime story. And the biggest one that they ever tucked you in with? The middle class. Yeah. But what if I told you the middle class is nothing more than a political pacifier? A term designed to keep you comfortable while the ultra rich pick your pockets clean. Today, we're snatching the blanket off of the myth of the middle class and showing you how Reagan lit the match and Trump threw gasoline on the fire. Welcome to From Ronald to Donald, and let's set the record straight. So, we got to talk about the great American scam. You see, the middle class was never meant to last. It was a temporary high after World War II, built on government investment, union power, and, well, let's keep it real, keeping black and brown folks shut out. And then Reagan shows up with the cowboy hat and the corporate bootlicking, and suddenly the moment workers, and I mean all workers, started demanding better pay and rights, that's when the rich panicked. So they changed the game. You see, Reagan slashed taxes for the wealthy, kneecapped social programs, and busted up unions like he was auditioning for a mob movie. He told you trickle-down economics would make everyone rich. Spoiler alert, it didn't. It just made rich people richer and left everyone else fighting over table scraps. Fast forward 40 years and along comes Trump. Same scam, different hairpiece. See, he hands billionaires tax cuts, throws a few bones to the working class, and calls it winning. Meanwhile, wages stay flat, the cost of living skyrockets, and guess what? The middle class is still unalive. Trump just slapped some makeup on the corpse and called it a comeback. So look, let's talk about why the middle class is actually a code word. Because we have to talk about why politicians still love saying middle class, even though it's about as real as a unicorn with a 401k. Look, they don't say working class because that means uniting people across race and struggle. Instead, they say middle class because it tickles white America's nostalgia bone. When they talk about saving the middle class, what they really mean is, hey, white folks, remember when life was easier for you? Let's bring that back. But easy for who? Black and brown folks were systematically shut out of that American dream. So the middle class was built on redlining, racial wealth gaps, and exclusion. And even though white workers got tossed aside too, the GOP keeps them fighting to reclaim a dream that was never meant for everybody. And that is how they keep the class divide alive and well. So let's talk about how Reaganomics and Trump tax cuts are the same damn scam. Let's get real. Reagan's trickle-down economics and Trump's 2017 tax cuts, copy, paste, right? Reagan dropped the corporate tax rate from 46% to 34%. Then Trump cuts it from 35% to 21%, and it is the biggest legal heist in history until we get to what Doge is doing. But we're not talking about that right now. We will definitely dissect Doge in another episode, but we got to talk about From Ronald to Donald. Let's get back. So Reagan crushed unions. Trump stacked the Supreme Court to make sure that they stayed unalive. Reagan deregulated everything, letting Wall Street run wild. Trump, same play, same result. Billionaires get richer, you get stuck holding the bag, but not getting the bag. They both told you that these cuts would help the economy, and they did. If by help you mean hoard wealth at the top and leave you with the participation trophy. So let's talk about it. The truth about class in America. Here's the deal. There is no middle class. There's just working class folks who haven't been completely crushed yet. And if you think you're middle class, that just means they haven't squeezed you dry. So the real class divide, it's the 1% versus everybody else. And the rich, they've been playing us against each other for decades. They got white workers thinking their enemy is a broke black family instead of the billionaire who just bought his third yacht while paying zero in taxes. So look, Reagan set the trap. Trump slammed it shut. And if you're still clinging to the idea of the middle class, you're playing a rigged game. So this has been From Ronald to Donald, Part 1. And I will see you on Part 2.